Hey, soul friends, it's Victoria on the Soul Nurture channel. I'm wondering how you're feeling, how you doing. Are you feeling like a shift is about to occur in your life? Something maybe an area of your life where you felt a little stagnant, need a little uh, support from the universe to get you on the right track. I'm wondering if, you're just sensing a course correction is coming. Well, if this is the case, you may be intuitive. You may be feeling the lunar eclipse in Virgo happening on March 13th or 14th, depending where you are in the world. And by the way, I'd love to know where you are in the world. Where are you viewing from? Drop it in the comments. But yeah, this is, it's eclipse season. It's officially eclipse season. So uh, we may be feeling a little bit more intensity, more emotional, or whatever shows up, pay attention to it. This is what I call soul tracking. Like, for instance, I got a cold today. Yesterday I was exhausted, and then I got a cold. And for me, when I get a cold, it's usually a time to check in with my body. What do I need to release? What am I eating that's not helping me, not supporting my body, maybe even harming my body? And then I review my self-care. Perfect for a lunar eclipse in Virgo. And so, by the way, yeah, I got a red nose, and I hope I don't sneeze through this because I'm not feeling well, but I'm going to get through this because this is such a potent time to share with you. So it is a time to, be reviewing. I'm thinking like you want to purge to emerge, because we want to emerge more of our authentic self, our soul potential, our possibilities. And that is what the eclipse season, I think, is about. If you don't know, and I'll share this with you because I didn't know, full moons and new moons connected to the nodes of destiny create eclipses. So this is a south node eclipse, which means the full moon in Virgo is connected to the south node. So south node is where we've come from, where we need to let go of, release, so we can move towards our destiny, okay? And a full moon is when the sun and the moon are 180 degrees apart. The lunar eclipse is when the earth gets in the middle, right in the middle, blocking the light from the sun that usually illuminates a full moon. In this case, it's called a blood moon. And do you know why it's called a blood moon? Well, I heard different theories, and one I was in love with because it sounded so sweet, and maybe there's something to this, but one theory I heard was that it is the sun rises and the sun sunsets from the earth appearing on the moon. Well, I don't know. Here's the one that makes more sense scientifically, and that is the wavelengths of, there's shorter or longer wavelengths. So the blue wavelengths are shorter, and the red ones are longer and can reach the moon. The rest kind of get absorbed in the atmosphere, right? And so it gives it a red orange kind of hue. So if you know something different, let me know. I'm always open to being educated on these things. I love it. Okay, so yeah, it's a time to purge, to emerge, a time to cleanse, to purify, cleanse your house, clear your house, just declutter, release. Also releasing habits, patterns, a way of being that is not who you are. It's not aligned with your soul desire. Like my teacher, Reverend Michael Beckwith, would say, we need to become who we need to be aligned with our vision. And this is what I think eclipses are. They're like aligning us, getting you back on track, course corrections, right? And they're wild cards. We never know how they're going to go. So it's important to notice. Some astrologers say that you can feel eclipses weeks before and weeks after, and or whatever's set in motion may not appear right away, but it's connected to the shift at this time. And like, we need more changes and more intense transformation. I know we're in a lot of it right now. March in particular in 2025 is a doozy. We've got all kinds of shifting happening. But I'm going to stick with this. But I mean, I just want to, say to you, I feel you. There's a lot going on. Eclipse season can bring more intensity, more chaos. Chaos, is that the right word? Or maybe I'm just thinking of our government. But it can feel more intense, and we know they're connected to destiny. Like something is happening to emerge more of our potential, personally and collectively, right? And we may not like these shift changes, but remember, when something changes quickly, I believe a teacher taught me that it's usually an answer to prayer or intention, and it may not feel good when we get course corrected, but trusting. This is about trusting the process of unfolding, trusting how things are for us, not against us, right? So, yeah, it's got the potential of illuminating what's been hidden. I mean, eclipses are like shadow. Think about the darkening of the moon. We don't see the bright moonlight from a full moon, so it speaks to shadows. I also think it's, especially this lunar eclipse in Virgo, it's like a push through the rebirthing canal, because we are in times of rebirthing. What doesn't work anymore needs to be shed, so new possibilities and new ways of doing things can emerge, again, individually and collectively. So we're moving towards things that are more aligned with our soul desires. So this is happening, I said March 13th, 14th, but I'm on Pacific time in Washington State. And so for my people in my area, it's happening at 11:54 p.m., close to midnight, Pacific time. And we're experiencing this powerful lunar eclipse at 23 degrees of Virgo. So you're going to want to look at your natal chart. What house is 23 degrees of Virgo in? If you do whole sign, that's easy. Just go to the house that is ruled by Virgo. And if you do Placidus or Porphyry, which are the two house systems I use, you're going to have to look for where the degree is. And that's where the moon is going to be, 23 degrees of Virgo, that house. And then across the axis is Pisces, where the sun is. And also Saturn is conjuncting the sun. So this lunar eclipse is really about, it's earthy Virgo. And then we have a conjunction to Saturn opposite the moon, which is grounding in reality. Even though we are in Pisces season, which is about dreaming and visioning and flowing with what is, it's like, where are we really? Where do we need to be? Where are we not aligned? What do we need to do? Right? And in this case, it isn't so much what we need to do as a surrender to be shown what to do or be willing to be course corrected. This is the Virgo Pisces axis activated. It's like a cosmic rebalancing of the mystical and the practical, or I like to say, as you hear me speak on this channel, a soul having a human experience. So it brings out the dreamer and the healer. Like, this is the axis, the dreamer and the healer, the mystic and the practical, everyday experience in earth as a human. So again, the South Node eclipse is all about release, letting go, and really connected to things Virgo. So we're letting go of perfectionism. We're letting go of over-sacrificing. Virgo is the helper and the healer. Pisces is also a healer, but more of an intuitive healer. And so letting go of the overdoing, overgiving, or anything that's been draining your energy. So what might this mean for you? And I like to say, how can you work with this so you're not worked by it? And a lot of you, when I work with my clients, they're already doing their transformational work. So when a big cosmic event like an eclipse comes along, they've already been taking care of what needs to be taken care of, or before the eclipse takes care of it for you. In other words, when you're doing your transformational work and you're tuned in and you're aware and you're listening to your soul, and like, gosh, I'm not eating foods that are healthy for my body, or gosh, I've been drinking too much, or you know what, I'm not getting enough sleep, I'm not exercising, I have not been, or I've been too hard on myself, I've been too critical, judgmental, limiting my potential, all these things, so you work on it and you say, yeah, I'm going to do something different. Well, if you don't do those things and you need to do those things, eclipses can be like, I'm going to help you. The universe is like, I'm going to get you where you need to be. I'm going to do it for you because you've been procrastinating. You're not doing it. You're not taking responsibility, especially with this Saturn influence here. You're not taking responsibility for the potential, the possibilities of your life. So guess what? I'm going to course correct you. And it may be ouch at first, right? But think about how many times have you been unexpectedly course corrected? Maybe you got fired, and in a job you thought, yeah, I like this job, it's okay, but some part of you was like, I need to move on, but you couldn't access the bravery at that time. Or a relationship is withered away and it's just not feeding you, and you're thinking, I don't know if this is going to work, but you don't do anything about it. And then boom, all of a sudden your partner says, I think we need to talk, right? So it's that kind of thing. But remember, think about the times when you were course corrected suddenly, and maybe even painfully, but then the blessing was around the corner. You got into a healthier relationship. You found the perfect job, that kind of a thing. Okay. So, I always say I'm not woo woo. I'm more woo, but the blue blood moon, is, if we look at the spiritual meaning, I mean, many traditions see it as a time of, heightened emotional intensity, although it's a moon in Virgo, which can kind of put a lid on our emotions. But you may notice the intensity, and it is said that there's a thinning of the veil between the physical and spiritual realms. And I, as a transformational hypnotherapist, believe that when we say thinning of the veil in that respect, physical and spiritual dimensions, I think of conscious and unconscious, right? Because we are the microcosm of the macrocosm, right? So we may find a thinning of the veil between our conscious awareness and our unconscious material. So we could be flooded with unconscious patterns and beliefs and emotions and wounds and things we haven't dealt with. Anything that's been hidden is in the subconscious mind or unconscious. So it is a time to confront your shadow, to be, notice the hidden emotions that are coming. Be curious. What is this connected to? What needs to be let go of? Let go of the limiting beliefs that are keeping you from your potential. And you may notice some fears that arise. I mean, especially during this time, I mean, so many people are getting stirred in fear because there's so much chaos, right? And this is where we need to look through our soul and say, yeah, something is transforming, something is emerging. Doesn't feel good in the human experience, but this is where we lean into the Pisces axis of trusting the great mystery unfolding, right? So, and by the way, I did welcome you to the channel, right? I'm Victoria, the soul guide here, and I do encourage you to subscribe, like, comment. I have a special offering happening for women on March 20th. It's a soul circle. It's time to come together and gather and do some of the work I offer in group form. Okay, so stay to the end of the video to learn more, and or go to the description box. I do encourage you to watch through the video the whole way. It's something with the YouTube algorithm. When people start a video and stop, it doesn't help me get more access to more people out there to support people. So in watching the video all the way to the end, and I don't care if you walk out of the room, it's okay. Keep it going. You help me get out to other people out in YouTube land. And so in essence, you support me in supporting others. So yay for you. Okay. All right. So still talking about what it's time to do, experiencing or calling in deeper healing. It's a moment to tend to those emotional wounds and patterns that keep you stuck in a way of being, and to offer what I call soul medicine, your own soul medicine to yourself. And that's my way of saying your own advice or the medicine you've cultivated out of your wounds that typically we give to everyone else, but to reclaim it for yourself. Sip from the, well of your own medicine, I like to say. You may notice it's a time for enhanced intuition. I hope you've been paying attention to your dreams. Mine have been just off the charts. I literally had a dream last night. Something was going on. I tend to have celebrities in my dreams. So Tom Cruise was there. We were hanging out. And I was waiting. We were going to go do something. And I was waiting. And I wrote down it was a journal or a book. And I wrote the word destiny down. And this is what this lunar eclipse is connected to. Our destinies, our possibilities. So I hope you're tuning into that. And I hope that if you've been stuck in a rut or held back, you're feeling like, this is an opportunity to emerge past where you've been. And it is said too with eclipses that it's like crossing a bridge that's scary. It's like a very scary thing to do, like a rickety old bridge, and but you get to the other side and you make it to where you're supposed to be, and then the bridge collapses. Why? Because you're not supposed to go backwards. You're supposed to go forward towards your soul potential. Okay? Let me know if any of this is speaking to you. Put a comment. Let me know what your takeaways are, what's landing for you. And if you have any questions, I can't cover everything here in this video. So do, ask questions. I'd love to answer anything, especially if I've missed something and you'd like to bring it to other people's awareness. Okay? So just knowing, change can arrive when we least expect it. And it's time for really, and I was going to say inviting, but it's more of like an urge, a push, rebirthing, to realign so you can rise up with your potential. And, an eclipse feeling is a look at, or you can journal this question: what do you need to shed, clear, declutter, release, or focus more on healing to fully step into your soul's potential? That's kind of the work. So this Virgo Pisces axis, this dance between the human and the soul, at its core, it is the sacred interplay between grounded action and divine surrender. And surrender is huge. I mean, all through Pisces season, but this eclipse season, I was telling a client earlier today a surrender story I had where I had moved to Washington State. I was in my small little Mazda Miata. People had warned me that when the streets are icy and snowy, you can have a spin out, right? And sure enough, fortunately, I was on a pretty safe street, and my car started to spin or slip, and they said, "Take your hands off the wheel." What? Okay, so my car is just doing its own thing, and it's going straight towards a fence. And take my hands off the wheel. Okay, I'm thinking of Carrie Underwood's song, "Jesus, Take the Wheel." I literally took my hands off the wheel. My car was going straight towards a fence, and as it got closer to the fence, it went whoop, like this, and it parallel parked. I'm not kidding. This is a true story. This is the kind of thing that surrender does. Surrender and trust God, the universe, to course correct you, you'll be okay, right? So yeah, it's grounding, but it's also that divine surrender. Virgo, the healer, urging us to tend to the details of our life, to purify, to refine our habits, to it's like having the last full moon in Virgo. I remember saying it's like having a cosmic assistant to get you tidied up, to get you sorted out. Okay, but we want to release the things of Virgo that are not helpful, like being overly critical or hard on yourself, being too controlling about the details, right? And too persnickety about how it should go, and trust how it's going to go, right? Let go and trust. It's just trusting and flowing. And and trust and connect to something greater than ourselves. I really feel we're all being called to, no matter what your faith is, or maybe you don't have a faith, to question, what do you believe in? What do you believe in that's, rising the sun every morning and setting it every night? What do you believe in? It's an important question right now. So some of the themes of this eclipse include, I mentioned these are kind of redundant, but I'm going to go over them again. Health and healing. Where have you been neglecting your well-being? What habits are depleting your body, your mind, or your soul? And then that service and sacrifice. I came up with this years ago when I went through a huge burnout working at a hospice. I realized, or maybe I got it in meditation, like, you are sacrificing. You are not of service. And if you're not of service to yourself and you're sacrificing yourself, you can't be of service to others. So are you overgiving? Are you stepping over yourself to be of service? This is a call to set healthy boundaries. Okay, so take a look there. I did also want to mention, that Venus is retrograde, and now Mercury is going to station retrograde on the 14th. So we're being called to deeper reflection, contemplation during this time of matters of the heart, of self-worth, of who we think we are, what we think about, just to really reflect on that. Are your thoughts kind? I should have got a tissue. I'm like, sorry. I just want to get through this without sneezing. Are Listen, tune in. Are your thoughts kind? Are they supportive? Are they healthy? Are they inspiring? Are they encouraging and empowering? That's the key. So we're going to let go of this perfectionism. This is the Virgo shadow, that self-criticism, overanalyzing, striving for impossible standards. I always say that perfectionism is an illusion that prevents you from fulfilling your potential. Okay? Write that down. Does someone need that? Okay. This eclipse is asking us to really embrace the beauty of imperfection. We are perfectly imperfect humans, right? So another image I got when I was thinking about this eclipse was I was seeing a trapeze, like when you're up high and you go to swing, and maybe you're swinging on one and you got to reach for the other. And I was thinking it's like the net is the great mystery. It's God. It's the spiritual net that will always catch us. We're always going to be okay. But to use this metaphor, it's like to catch the next bar, you have to release the one you're holding in order to go forward, right? Or maybe you fall in the net and you're still okay, okay? But it is about letting go where you've been to where you're going. So let's see. Again, lunar eclipses, we're working to shift and get into alignment. It's like a spiritual chiropractor coming in to give us a big, get us back into alignment. So just keeping in mind that whatever shadow work you might do, whatever's hidden that needs to be revealed, truth may come to light. And gosh, I need a tissue, but I'm so sorry for all the sniffling. Send me your healing prayers. Okay. So truth may come to light and provide clarity for you, and your beliefs may be challenged, but this is because when we're trying to move from an old way to a new way, it confuses the ego, right? This is where we trust our soul. Ego keeps us safe. Ego helps us grow. Ego keeps us safe. Soul helps us grow. So releasing what is limiting in relationships, patterns, any fears that are holding you back. Remember, you got to catch that next bar to go forward, right? Or let yourself just fall into the net and be held to be shown a new way. Just want you to, trust the process. Really, beyond this eclipse, this time on Earth is trust what's unfolding, even through the chaos and the uncertainty. We are being guided towards something greater. I know it's hard to believe sometimes, and I feel for you. With this eclipse too, the overwhelm may be increased. Ground yourself. Practice extreme self-care. Go look at my video called Extreme Self-Care for Extreme Times. I'll put it in the description too. So watch that video after this one. So it's the mind-body connection, stress, anxiety, and old wounds that manifest physically because of the overwhelm too. So catch the overthinking, the self-criticism, release it, and practice a more compassionate voice, a more compassionate connection with your own heart, your own acceptance and love. So just a final note that these are, lunar eclipses are catalysts, right? Shaking us out of complacency or stuck patterns and pushing us through that birth canal to grow, to emerge something new. They're not gentle nudges. They're more like, big wake-up calls, big shifts, and earthquakes, kind of. Birthquakes is what I meant to say. So if something's shifting in your life, trust that it's meant to, okay? All right. And this is all, I just repeated a lot of things that I just, the question is asking yourself, what do I need to release? Where do I want to get back in alignment with my soul essence, your authentic path? And so you can rise to your fullest possibilities. That's basically it. All right. Okay. So I hope this message resonates with you. I hope something landed in your heart and inspired you, empowered you. And I'd love to hear your thoughts, your takeaways. So do drop a comment below. Pass me a Kleenex. I need it. I'm so sorry. And let me know how you've been feeling leading up to this eclipse. And then come back after and comment with anything that happened in your life. What shifted? What opened up for you? Remember, this is all for us. It's evolving, emerging for us. Let go of the control and trust, right? So I would like to, if you feel inspired to work with me, I want to invite you to the Soul Circle. It's for women only at this time on March 20th, where we're going to, dive deeper into all things soul. I call it, soul gazing, where we maybe look at it a little of astrology, but more transformational opportunities, all that good stuff. So go to the link and get on the wait list. I know that a client was asking me, well, I'm on the wait list. What's next? And maybe we should have called it that, sign up sheet or something, because if you're on the wait list, you're going to get an invitation with a Zoom link to the meeting. Okay. But you also get a reminder email from me. I also invite you to book a session with me. I still offer a few 20-minute consultations to meet with you and teach you, share with you how I work and how I would support you on your path of unfolding. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe and like and comment, and click that notification bell if you want to stay connected with me so you will never miss a transformational update from me. I thank you so much for being with me. I'm always honored when anybody stops by and spends time with me, really. And I'm even more honored when I hear in a comment or an email how much my videos help you. That's the goal, just to reach out whatever I've got to offer to support you right on your path, meet you where you are, and just give you that reminder that you're not alone. You've got this. We're all in this together. We are swimming in turbulent, transformational waters, but we'll get there. We'll get to that new shore of possibilities. So thanks for being with me, and I hope this eclipse provides you with the shift and the alignment that you are seeking. All right, take good care. Until next time. Bye.